Okay, everybody, welcome to the Traderstation podcast, episode 4.
Traderstation, what's
yeah.
up?
Yo, what's going on?
Hope everyone had a good weekend and a good week. The week was good for us trading wise. Once again, our signals, yeah, they did well, both on the binary and forex side. So yeah, let's kick things off.
Excellent signal. Excellent. Top notch.
I looked at how many pips we've collected with the signals so far this month, and it's up to October. In October, it was 900 pips we collected. So yeah,
nice.
That was good.
That's very good.
Yeah. So yeah, let's kick things off with our pick of the week. Who wants to go first?
Sheesh, I'll go. I mean, I gotta be honest that I think it's because the month ended and stuff, and it seems like all the moves are at that spot where they could go either way. So it was kind of tough for me to find a chart. But I think one of the more interesting charts that I saw, to me at least, is this dollar Swiss franc chart.
Okay.
And the reason being is if you look on the daily chart, I mean, it's a really strong leg on the daily chart that started around the middle of October, like the 15th or so, and we had a really strong leg, and we broke above some key numbers, and we seem to be sitting at 98.50 right now.
Yeah.
And from the daily chart, it looks like you could use 98 as a stop. And if they protect 98, I can see this thing going, to 101, 102. My only problem with it is if you look on the weekly chart, it's pretty ugly. It's a lot of congestion, and when I see these type of trading ranges, I'm a fan of betting against the breakout. And if you look at the weekly chart right now, I mean, you can. I just don't know where I would put my stop if I was short. I think my stop would have to be too far away at above 1 probably, and I think that's kind of far for shorts to be getting aggressive shorting right here. And I think it was important that the bulls closed last week above 96.50. I think that was a key area. I mean 98.50, I'm sorry. 98.50. And if the bulls can just protect that 98 number, I could see us heading back up to 101, 102 there. So I'm definitely gonna be watching the price action there. I need some more info, but I kind of like the way that's setting up.
Yeah, I see that as well. It did have a really strong move. I know this is a pair that a lot of people are scared of, but yeah, I can see it.
I think whatever happens, we know what happened last time with these levels with the Swiss National Bank removal of the peg, and I just think I'm more favoured to the downside move. I think.
Yeah.
It's gone quite far.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gained back almost all the losses it made from the start of the year.
True.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's much more left in the tank. I think, if anything, the 1.01 is a decent target. After that, I don't see it getting past the 1.02. I think it's a short from there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're long, I'd definitely be getting out at, if we do get that upside break, I'd definitely be getting out at that 101, 102 mark.
Or at least protecting your position.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think 102 is the brick wall.
What about short term? You think we're gonna head back down into the range right now, or you think it's still got a little more upside to it? You think it wants to touch 1, or?
I mean, if you're long, then the target is 1.01. If you're long at the moment, but I'm not long at all. I've been running away from it.
I'm not long either. I might be looking
I'm
to get
not
long.
touching that pitch. No way. I've just got too much feel for that pitch. Nah, I haven't touched it since January, man.
I was scared of it the last few weeks, but that leg on the daily just looks so strong. Like the bars all closing high too. It just looks good, and obviously we want a little pullback here, but I just like the low risk. Like I think 98 is an important number for the Bulls to protect it. So I mean, you're talking only 50 pips from where we're at right now. If we pull back a little lower, you might be able to get it, even closer to 98. And if they protect 98, I mean, you could be looking for a good 300-400 pips after that. So it's one of those, low risk, high rewards. But low risk, high reward usually means low probability too. So it's interesting.
I remember someone in the group, and I was saying like a few weeks back that a short at 98.50 was probably a decent place to be, and I mean that's gone now. That's happened, and that went down. Like I don't know how many pips that went down, but I think that was a good resistance level for quite some time. So we could see it switch roles, and
yeah, that's exactly where it's sitting right now.
Yeah,
so it's
you head up from here, but I'm not looking to trade this pair.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Who wants to go next?
I haven't got no picks, but I'll just do a bit of fundamentals since we have non-farm payroll this week. And from the people I've been talking to, the number's not going to be above 200k. It'll be close to 120k.
Wow.
So yeah. So then that will mean an extremely weak US dollar.
Yeah.
So if you're long on the US dollar, just be careful for non-farm payroll. And that number can come out low. But if it comes up higher than 200k, then that's fake. That's really fake.
Doug, you just hate us Americans, man. Why don't you just tell me the truth, bro? Why don't you just tell me the truth?
I'm like, you guys go just mess up the world and all that. I don't like you guys. but like the number's gonna be below 200k, and every time the number's below 200k, that means it's gonna be a weak US dollar.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Cool.
I think that's the expectation. Yeah. Everyone wants a weak dollar.
I think the expectation is at 183.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's still below 200k. So everyone's below 200k in a weak dollar. I think that's what's gonna come out.
Cool. Alright, I guess I'll do my trade pick now. For the past 3 podcasts, I think my trade pick was pound against the dollar, and so far it's been right every single time. Right now it's headed back up to strong resistance levels, and it also hit an old trend line, retested a trend line, and it seems to have gapped up this like over the weekend or whatever. I think my bias right now would be to short it, but with NFP coming up, it's a bit tricky because that could just throw everything out of the way. And Doug was saying that he's heard that it's going to come out weak, and so to short this pair right now, but it is showing. Exactly, but it has shown a higher low as well, so it's a bit.
It just hasn't made that higher.
Exactly, yeah. That's what would confirm like going long maybe, or change my bias. So I'm going to stand back from the pound this time. Instead I want to look at the Aussie dollar. We made quite a lot of pips from Aussie signals and Aussie trades last week, shorting it down to 71 level over the past 2 weeks actually. And if you look at the daily, it's showing a higher high and a higher low as well. And so, and it's showing the same thing on the weekly as well. So going long on this pair could be like, it'd be a good move. It's right above the 71 level, which is a strong support. I think going long on this pair wouldn't be too crazy, at the moment. There is a lot going for it. But like I said, with NFP, anything can change. But if it does come out weak, then going long in this pair would be good, I guess. So yeah.
That's decent. I mean, I wanted a little bit more out of the Bears too, so I see why you're saying that. But you know, it kind of blew right past that 50% retracement on the daily. You know, and that's why I was looking for you know, more bulls just to come in aggressively, and the fact that they didn't kind of worried me a bit. But you know, kind of worried me for the bullish side. I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, I wanted to pick this pair too, but I just feel like I need more information. Like I need a few more, like 4-hour bars at least to kind of see what's going on. So
yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah, it is tricky. But that 71, like you said, that 71 is some damn good support right there. So
I think on any pair that's traded against the dollar is bound to have some crazy action.
Yeah, exactly.
This week, so we might see that bullish strength that you're looking for. But going back to the cable, I think if I was short, I wouldn't be short anywhere near here. I think I'll just let this week go by. I mean, a lot can happen before Friday, and
oh hell yeah,
some big things before then. But if we're looking to go long, then we have to wait for the Friday move. I mean, I don't like to trade the news, but hey, you got to find your levels before the news comes out, basically. I think if I was to go short, I'll be looking at 1.57.
Yeah,
that's what I'll be looking at.
Yeah.
Anything below that is just too close to the action. My pick is the DAX.
That's okay.
Why is that? Why? Because you're in Germany right now.
Yeah, well, I'm home now. I was in Germany last. I came back yesterday evening.
How was your holiday?
Yeah, I was away for a week.
Wait, I thought you were coming back next week.
I was hoping that it would come into this level before then, but it didn't. It's the sort of 11,000 level. I think that's support, resistance, blah blah blah, and it's moved strongly away from the level. So I think, I mean, it almost got there and then it came back down. So we might see a push to the upside. Maybe the NFP might help, but wait and see for that one. I think 11,000, and then my target would be back down to 10,000.
Yeah, I see that.
But for now, we just sit and wait.
Yeah, NFP week is always tricky. It always sets, like on the charts, there's always a sit and wait sort of week, and that's hard for a lot of traders, you know, to just sit and not do anything. But sometimes it's the best way. But that's not to say money can't be made or pips can't be made during NFP week, but it's not going to be easy, and you know, things could go wrong. So.
Yeah, of course. The biggest moves have to but money can be made at any time on any chart.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So yeah, that's the trade picks out the way, I think. So something we wanted to speak on, actually, or Christos actually brought this up. The importance of being real with yourself and what it's going to take. I'm going to leave Christos to elaborate on that.
Sounds good. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
You're a bit breaky though.
Am I?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to fix that, but
I think it's just a Wi-Fi issue.
Okay. Alright, well, yeah, I wanted to speak on this, just because I forgot who it was in the chat had, you know, he just seemed a little bit down on himself. He's been training for like a year, and, you know, he's not seeing the you know, consistent, profitable results that he wanted to. So, you know, we were talking him off the ledge the other day, so to speak. But it's, I mean, I heard a trader say, I think it was a few months back now. I just heard him talking, and he said we have to do things to be better and not just feel better.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I just really like that because, you know, you might be on like a slump or whatever you might want to call it, and you know, you then all of a sudden you bag like 50 pips or something, and that makes you feel better. But it's like you didn't really do anything different. You know, you didn't really change your style just to get that 50 pips. I mean, you just kind of clicked the button the same way you were clicking the button for your last 10 losses. And I think I mean, this is just such a tough business, such a tough job, such a tough industry. Like, you really need to be serious about it. You need to take everything very seriously. I mean, it's more than just like getting better with your technical analysis. Like, there's just so much more to it. I mean, we need to treat this like a business. And I was saying how, you know, are you printing your charts out? Are you keeping your statistics? Like, it's one thing to mark down where you entered a trade, where your stop loss was, where your target profit was, but do you know like what your average win is, what your average loss is, what your P&L per day is? You know, if you're holding a trade pick, or say if you're holding a trade that you've been in for 5 days and you made 100 pips and you're just looking for like another 20 pips, is it worth you holding that trade for another week to try to get those 20 pips? You know, because then that'll get your profit and loss per day number to be lower. I mean, there's just such a science behind all the madness, and we really just need to, you know, look ourselves in the mirror and say, am I doing everything that the pros are? Am I doing everything that a hedge fund manager would be doing? Am I taking it as seriously as them? It's way more than just, you know, checking on Instagram and seeing if your analysis matches some other guy's analysis that, you know, put up a chart with a few lines on it. Like, there's so much more to the industry than that. And I don't know, what can you guys say about like that transition from when you first started to where you were just kind of drawing some lines on a chart to like really taking it more seriously? Like, how did your transitions go?
Well, for me, it was more about, you know, when you get that big loss and you feel like you get initially when you get the big loss, you feel like giving up, you feel like crap, you know. But then when you get to that point where you realize, oh, I don't want to give up, then you start thinking, what can I do to be better? What can I do to never be in this position again? What did I do to end up in the position I'm in now? Looking back and analyzing, looking at yourself honestly, even if it means, you know, looking at the worst parts of yourself as a trader and maybe even as a person, like thinking, oh, I don't have the discipline, I need to change this. And you know, we've spoken on this before about how trading can change you as a person, help you improve in other aspects of your life. And the things you can do, like with reflecting on yourself, you can apply that to anything. And like I've said to a few people that are having problems with discipline and you know, just objectively looking at their trading and at themselves, keep a journal. And the journal doesn't have to be just a log of your trades and how many pips you get. It can be about how you feel when you take each trade, how you feel when you close each trade, why you went to take these trades, things like that. Having a MyFX book can help with the you know, keeping track of all the numbers and the statistics. If you find it difficult to do that, well, it does it all for you. But and of course that's important, but I think it's just as important to note down because everyone talks about trading psychology, but that comes from the inside. That's one thing that is very hard to teach. You can tell someone, it's very I know this is a cliche, but you can take the horse to the water, but you can't force them to drink it. So when you're teaching someone about these things, you can only tell them, you can't make them do it. That's a very personal thing. That's why,
yeah, I like what you said about about writing things down, like how you feel when you enter the trade.
Yeah.
I used to do that. I actually don't do that no more. But I definitely I started off doing that, and even back in my like day trading days when I was day trading futures, throughout I was making way too many trades. But one thing that I did that was really cool was I had a voice recorder, and before like I made the trade, I would like talk into the voice recorder and be like, all right, this is what I see, this is how I feel, this is why I'm doing it. And at the end of the day, like I would go back and I'd have whatever 20 minutes worth of recordings, and I'd listen to myself. I'd be like, damn, like I was so scared for that like 1 or 2 minutes, and there was really no reason to be scared. It's just it was awesome to go back and hear my voice and hear what I was thinking at that moment, and then look back at the chart and be like, wow, like I didn't need to be that scared or whatever. So that's just another idea.
Yeah.
What about you, Money Bags?
Well, me, I didn't have no trading plan at all when I first started. I have to lose so much money, man. Even thinking about it now hurts me. Yeah, and then what I actually done, I just went on my FX book, and then on there, for each trade you do, it actually lets you like note down like a few points and that, so that's how I just began doing it. And I stopped doing that. I don't really do that no more because I just keep it all the way up in my mind, so then I can actually remember things from months ago. So yeah, really, like they just get used to it, and it becomes like second nature to you. Like basically, like when you trade for a long time and you look at a chart, you can actually imagine your tools and your trend lines being drawn on the chart already without actually doing anything, so you can tell what direction the chart's gonna move. So it's just like that. You practice comes, with it. Just practice a lot, and then just one thing you're charting, like, just get better. Yeah. It's really that simple, but it's not that simple. If you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's a simple thing to do, but then to actually apply it is very hard.
Yeah. Which is like reflective of a lot of things in trading.
Yeah, it actually is.
Yeah.
Very, very simple. That's why I got the high suicide rate. The joke is because, yeah, it's intense. Huh?
I said you love mentioning the suicide rate in trading.
Yeah, man, because ever since I actually heard about that, I was actually shocked, but then I actually understood, because mentally, it just depends here on how strong you are mentally, man, because this will break you, like, if you're that type of person who doesn't like to give up yet, but you're very weak-minded, you're gonna get broken in trading. Trading will break you, that's what I'm saying. Just have some patience.
Yeah, you definitely need balls of steel for this.
When I started, I mean, I had people to. I didn't have mentors, but I had people to look up to, and like it was like, okay, I can see them making money, so I know that there's money in this business, right? But I never quite got to the point where I was making the money myself. So I was thinking, well, I must be doing something wrong, and then, there was a time where I just quit. I gave up, and for months I wasn't doing anything with it. Then I started again, and I realized I just need to keep track of what I was doing. Like there were times where I would lose money, and then on my next paycheck I would just put that money back in, and I always start again on a level playing field. But I would never record that, so I would never make a note of, say, I put in so and so amount today, and then I would lose that money again, and I would just top it up every single time. And then when I started to track my trading, I realized I can't put that in the journal, because it would reflect, it would show as a spike, wouldn't it? It would just be, it would be okay that the account's going down and then spike, it's moved back up, and it's going down and spike. So I started having to be disciplined to say, I will not add any more funds from this point, and anything that shows up on the trading journal is what I've made to date, basically. And that's when you start to take it seriously. You start to say, maybe I can actually do something with this. Until you start tracking your progress, you're not going anywhere.
Sure.
You don't know. You just don't know what you've made or lost.
It's like being, think about this, being an Olympic runner and not timing yourself. You don't know how fast you're doing, how fast you're going. against your competitors or your targets or anything. Like, you're just running for no reason. One day you cross the line a bit quicker and you don't really know how much quicker it was.
Yeah, because you never bothered to track that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's important to realize, like, even if you've been doing this for a year, like, that's not that long, you know. Like, there's so, and I mean, your learning comes in, like, you know, clumps of months, kind of. Like, you know, I'm actually talking to my father these days and trying to teach him how to trade a little bit, and it's like every day he comes back to me with, like, all right, let's, you know, he wants to be real hands-on, me and him real hands-on with the charts and stuff like that, and I'm kind of like, no, like, you know, I said what I need to say, like, come back to me in a couple of weeks or something like that. You know, you need to play on your own and learn on your own, and then come back. Like, I can't be holding your hand and over your shoulder every single day. You know, it's a matter of you just, it comes like months at a time. You know, I learned, you know, we talked about this before, like, you know, when you're 6 months into trading, you think you know it all, and then when you're 8 months into trading, you're like, oh crap, I didn't know anything 2 months ago. And then, like, when you're a year into trading, you're like, oh crap, I didn't know anything 4 months ago. So it's a constant learning process, and it takes a while. Like, it took me a good 3 years, and for the first year, you know, I don't think I was really not that I wasn't taking it seriously, but I just didn't know what I was, like, doing. I was kind of it takes a while to find your flow, and then it takes a while for you to really go at it the right way. And, like, I know Doug has spoke on it before. Doug says, you know, it took him like 2 years to be consistently profitable, and that's not even a long time, Doug. Like, you know, that's pretty cool. Like, even I hear a lot of 3 to 5 year stories when traders talk about how long it took them. So, I mean, if you do it in 2 years, you're ahead of the group pretty much.
Thanks, guys. It was hard work though. Like, I just never slept in it. That's why I just never slept. I was just on the finish time on. So I just basically dedicated all my whole time to this because I was not gonna fail, and I wanted to prove I'm wrong. That's it. And now I have, which feels really good. But it actually does feel really good.
Well, yeah, that's the sort of thing that, you know, a lot of people starting out, you know, you have the vision, the dreams of earning millions and things like that, and, you know, making money just at the click of a finger. And you got to remember that when you're trading, you're making money out of thin air, essentially, and it's a skill that, you know, is so valuable. Like, I feel like even people that they have these dreams, they don't realize the value of what it is to be able to master this, and it's going to take work, and you're going to have to suffer for it to get it. Like, nothing really comes without any pain or suffering or, like, self-doubt or anything like that. It's something you're going to have to persevere through. And, you know, you hear these statistics about how 95% of traders don't make it or whatever. That's because they give up most of the time. It's because they've given up, they couldn't handle it, or they just lost too much, maybe, and they just didn't want it enough, maybe. But if you really want it, you can do it.
Yeah, I remember always saying, like I want to see some examples of this 90 and 95% that's not making it. You know, I want to, because I've got a lot of cousins, brother-in-laws that, you know, said they traded for a little bit, but they weren't trading. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see people that are in there for 50 hours a week, putting 50 hours a week into it, like, learning as much as they can, listening to interviews with their, printing out their charts, throwing this. I want to see those people, and I want a percentage of those people that didn't make it, you know, because you could go out on the street right now and someone will tell you how they started, you know, yeah, I've traded a little bit, but they didn't trade, you know what I'm saying? They weren't really working for it like I was or whatever. So don't let that statistic, you know, fool you. I mean, there's a lot of Joe Schmoes thrown into that statistic, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of them as well. Probably more than 50% of them are like an average Joe's.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, because it is for the minute, so it's not really 95%. It's like if they took it from people who actually tried, I think the percentage would be actually quite low than 95%. Probably about
Definitely.
I think so too.
yeah, something like that. Not 95%. Come on, like
Everyone's bundled together, aren't they?
Yeah.
You get those who are actually traders and those who have traded before, and it's just like 95% of those who have traded before have failed. Not 95% of traders.
Like they'll count here someone who just £100 into a forest account. They're gonna count that. Someone yeah, they count all of them.
They count as traders too.
Yeah.
It's a misdirection in the market.
Yeah, like you always see every single time for it. That's why people are so skeptical about it.
It's gambling, guys. It's gambling.
That misconception that it's all gambling. I don't think hedge funds and banks gamble like that.
Now when I hear that, I just say, you know what, it is the purest form of gambling that you can do. I tell them now, just because I'm just like, if you could show me the difference is, you know, it is gambling, I say, but if you could show me like a game at the casino that gives you a fair edge, that gives you probabilities the same way that trading does, then I would be all over that game. But all those games of the casino are rigged against you.
Yeah.
Like, we are in an efficient market, and you know, I'll just talk a little bit about stocks. I mean, you can literally go to an option chain and find the probabilities of a stock price getting hit within the next month or 2 months or whatever it is. Like, the probabilities and statistics are freaking given to you. Like, there's no other game at the casino that gives you those statistics. So if you want to call trading gambling, that's fine. But, you know, it's almost like, you guys hear about that FanDuel scandal where you guys know what FanDuel is and DraftKings and all that?
Nope.
Oh no, it's so maybe it's an American thing. It's pretty much, you know, it's a fantasy football type of thing, and you can. So you pick players, and you know, you can play every week. You can start over every week, and you can pick a new team of players every week. And one of the big CEOs made like $300,000 in a week, and he had all the statistics. He had like statistics on which people were getting picked the most, and stuff like that. And it's like, at the same time, you know, he didn't know Tom Brady was going to throw 4 touchdown passes or whatever, but he had statistics on him that, you know, Tom Brady is chosen by this many people, or, you know, this guy was chosen by this many people, nobody's choosing this guy. And that's kind of like what trading gives you. It gives you those statistics, and that guy was able to make 300 grand because he had access to those statistics. And as traders, we have access to those statistics ourselves. So, I mean, you can call it gambling, but for all the probabilities and statistics are in front of you, yeah, sure, I'm going to take that bet every day, you know?
The thing is, if you're going to call trading gambling, you might as well call getting up and going into work gambling, because there's always chance with everything. You know, there's a chance that you go into work and you'll be fired that morning. Like,
I call trading, yeah. Like, if someone says to me, oh yeah, you trade, or you gamble, I say, no, it's not gambling, it's calculated risk.
Yeah.
This is a calculated risk.
I'm a risk manager.
Yeah, it's like, I don't even like telling people I'm a trader. I manage risk. I'm a risk manager. You know?
And to some extent, that is true. We do manage risk.
Oh, it's 100% true.
Position size, don't we?
Yeah.
Set our stop losses. So we are.
It's 100% true. Because when you talk to traders, you know, when you talk to non-traders, they're always like, well, how much, you know, money did you make this month or something like that. But when you talk to a trader, they're like, oh, like, you know, what are you doing? What's your strategy? You start talking statistics. You start talking probabilities. You're not talking like dollar figures, really. It's much different. It's a much different conversation.
All right, we've got a question, guys. From Chia. Other than fundamentals, technical analysis and planning, is there anything more that a trader needs to consider for every trade? Basically.
Well, we've touched on the psychology aspect of it.
But also, another important thing, risk. That always has to be something you consider.
But isn't risk a part of technical analysis as well?
It comes under both because risk, like you might, like for example, NFP is fundamental and it plays a part in risk, in your risk assessment. So I guess it comes under both. But yeah.
Nah, I'm not fundamental. I'm not sure about that because fundamental. Well, I don't really know. But I just thought it comes under like technical analysis because that's what you have to do.
Yeah, of course, it plays a big part in technical analysis. But I feel like a big news event like NFP, that plays a part in your decision when you're looking to manage risk. So yeah, I think
in terms of using a wider stop loss, or I think technically you can pick your levels based on what the chart set. But if you were to be in the midst of fundamental announcements, you probably don't want to have your stop loss at the next level. You probably want to have it the level below or above.
Yeah.
You want to give yourself some room if that's how your strategy works.
Or use a smaller lot.
If you're disciplined, then your strategy is your strategy, regardless of news.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop loss wherever you put your stop loss. The rules don't change because there's an announcement. I mean, if it's like 9/11, your stop loss would not work regardless of what you did. You know?
Yeah, true.
No one's accounting for such an event to happen. But I think your stop loss should be your stop loss. Your risk should be based on the maximum risk you're willing to take per trade. It shouldn't be based on NFP coming out tomorrow.
Fair enough. It's got another question.
But just to answer that, I think your discipline is the next thing you need to look at.
True.
You can have all these things set up, but you know, if your discipline for every trade is off, then you might as well go to the casino.
Yeah.
You know, discipline and confidence.
Yeah, confidence is a big thing as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. The other question was, what is the average or best amount of trades we can do as a trader that trades 4-hour and daily charts?
It depends on who you are. Depends on how many pairs you're looking at. Depends on how much time you have. Depends on how much money you have. There's too many factors to take into account. Your margin is probably your biggest block. On how many trades you take. I mean, some people like myself set up limit orders and then they get triggered as and when. We don't actually physically wait for the market to do anything. So we run the risk of not having enough margin to take that trade. But I think once you've sorted out your margin, it's basically how you want to trade. Do you want to trade by looking at the charts all day, half a day, a few hours? It's all up to you, to be honest. So there isn't a maximum or minimum number of trades. But the good thing about trading, say, the 4-hour charts is you don't have to physically be there. A lot of the time you don't have to stare at the charts.
Yeah.
Set up and it.
You can just go off and trade bangers. That's it.
Or play golf. Yeah. Whichever one suits you.
Yeah, that's it. So,
I mean, people, when they first come into trading, they're all too focused on how many of this do we have to do? What do we have to do here? What do we have to do here? How much do we put into this? What time frames are the best? I hear that a lot. People ask, what time frame is the best? And I'm thinking, that surely isn't the question you should be asking. Like, you should be asking yourself, if anything, what time frame do I want to work in?
Exactly.
I was like, yeah. I was like, oh no, let me do 30 minutes, no, let me do an hour.
Yeah, I was like that as well.
And I was just doing that. I didn't even know how to even set up a strategy. I was like, what the hell are these people talking about strategy? It's just buy and sell, that's it.
I've been on every single time frame. I have.
Yeah, same.
When I was learning, I tried to trade every single time frame.
I think certain markets like almost favor certain time frames too.
Yeah.
Like I know, as you know, in the futures market, I'm trading like a 5-minute time frame, you know, intraday. And I don't think like a 1 hour or a 4 hour is better in the futures market, but I like the 4 hours in the forex market, and that's honestly that could just be as a measure of risk, because if you're trading a 1 hour, 4 hour time frame in the futures market, I mean, you're talking about like thousands of dollars per trade, just to make that trade. But you can trade small in the forex market on a 4 hour chart, and you can only risk $100 or something like that. So it's that time frame question is a tough question. I was the same way. I wanted to know what most traders in that market trade. I mean, we were talking the other day. How many forex scalpers do we know? Do you guys know anyone trading like a 5-minute forex chart?
Not personally, no.
I would love to meet one for sure.
That risk is too small. I mean,
they all live on Instagram.
That's my fault. Everyone on Instagram is trading a 5-minute forex chart, actually.
No, I think a lot of the problem, the reason why we get a lot of questions like this is because there's a lot of rhetorical, a lot of people preaching that this is the best and that is the best, but but we all know that there's no holy grail. Like you probably heard that other people say that. We've said that a lot, but it's the truth. There's not really. Otherwise, everybody would be doing one thing. So
right.
So yeah.
Let's answer the other question that was in the Traderstation chat that Doug kind of answered, but it'd be cool just to talk about it.
Yeah.
Sirkin said, I hope I said your name right too. He said, is it possible to make 2% every day?
Hello?
Like 3 months with a capital of. What's that?
Breaking up.
Yeah, carry on. We can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he said, is it possible to make 2% every day for like 3 months with a capital of 1,500 pounds? And then if you have 3,200 after 3 months to make 2% profit off of 3,200, and so on and so on. So go ahead, Doug. Doug showed you that he did it. DJ Money Bags. But not everyone's like DJ Money Bags over there. I don't know. Do you guys think about it like that? I don't think about it like making 2% every day. I think about it like I want to have. If I'm trading a 4 hour daily chart, I want to have more. I want to have more winning weeks or more winning months than losing ones. That's kind of how I think of it.
You look at it as on a bigger scale if you're doing those time frames, especially. It doesn't become a daily sort of thing because your trades won't even be closing every day if you look at those time frames. So.
But even a day trader, a day trader understands, a day trader as in. You're flat at the end of the day. You hold nothing overnight. I mean, they understand that they're gonna have a losing day or two in the mix, throughout a month or throughout a week. I mean, it's just what it is. And if you can lose every time you have a losing day, you lose $100, but on all your winning days, you're making $400. Then it doesn't really matter.
I think you need to look at a much bigger time frame and consider, your profit. Looking at it and saying, can I make 2% a day, really does put restrictions on yourself. I think you need to say, how much have I made or lost for the month? As long as you track your trades daily, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you just wait till the end of the month to see how much you made. And then you can move on from that. But you shouldn't really be saying, I want to make 2% a day, because if you make a loss one day, then you have to make 4% the next day to be still making 2% on average. But you can make a lot more than 2% a day on average.
Yeah.
And that's why keeping statistics is so important. Like your average win, your average loss, and stuff like that. Your winning percentage, because if your average win you know, is the same as your average loss, but you've got a winning percentage of like 50% or lower, I mean, you know, you need to tweak something, and you know right there what it is. It's like you're not winning enough, or you're losing too much. I mean, you're not winning enough pips, and you're losing too much pips, or something like that. So it's all in your risk management of how you should tweak that after that, and it allows you to tweak what needs to be tweaked if you have all your statistics in front of you, and you can see what you need to work on.
Oh yeah, like some guy asked me a question. No, well, he didn't ask me a question. He told me this. He told me about how he's learning, like he's researching on like Warren Buffett and how he's made his money, and he wants to do the same thing. I'm like, bro, them days are gone now.
Yeah.
Long gone.
Like Warren Buffett made money. That's it. It's old. Done. Look for something else. And then people still think that they can make money like what Warren Buffett did. I'm like, in this day and age,
I don't even think Warren Buffett makes money like Warren Buffett.
Yes, he doesn't. He's actually making less money than he was 20 years ago. Yeah, because you can't do the whole.
It's a different market. The average lifespan of a company in the S&P 500 these days is like I think it's 12 years, and it wasn't like that back in the day. Like, that's why that buy and hold stuff doesn't work. Because if the best companies are only in the S&P for 12 years, I mean, we're invested for 30, 40 years. You know, that buy and hold stuff just does not work, and people won't put it to bed. Like, that's one reason why I've gotten into options. Like, if you hold a stock like Apple or Disney, like, that's great, but they don't understand that if you sell an option against it, you sell a call against it, you're lowering your risk, you're increasing your average monthly return. Like, there's so many stats that I can, if you guys are interested, just email me and I'll pull up these slides and stuff that I've seen. I mean, there's just the research out here these days is amazing. And if you're just going to sit there and buy and hold stocks, it's just the least effective way to grow financially. We've come so far.
I think one of the reasons why that's quite popular is because it's simple. They look at the chart, or they hear in the news that, a certain company's doing really badly, and they think, the stock's bound to go up, and I could just buy it and hold it forever. It's just going to keep going up and up and up. And I've recently started, one of my brother-in-laws is like starting to trade, and he's currently using the demo account, and he's just going by, looking at the chart, seeing what looks low, or what he hears in the news, and basically doing that, buying and trying to hold it for as long as possible, and or just closing it as soon as it's in profit. Like, he's really brand new, he's only been doing it for about 2 weeks, but that's just a general sort of mentality that the general public kind of has about stocks and trading, anything really. And it really isn't like that when you come down to it, because if you don't understand what's going on in the markets, then buying and holding is literally meaningless. It could just crash, go against you, and you wouldn't know why it's happening.
I guess they have the right idea in the sense that they're buying things that look low at the moment. I mean, when you go to the shops, you buy a TV when it's on sale, don't you? Don't buy it when it's double the price it was last week. But at the same time, they don't actually know where low is. They're just buying because they've heard that so and so is buying the stock. I mean, look at Weight Watchers recently. Oprah bought like I don't know how much it was, some percentage in Weight Watchers. Yeah. And it went through the roof. I'm thinking she made 100%. Theoretically 60 million in the first day.
In the first day, and then the second day it had a move pretty much equal to the first day, so she made another 60 million the second day. But on the third day it came crashing down, and it took at least 1 day away. But that's probably because she went in the market and sold her shares.
Exactly. So people are always going on about buying and holding and buying and holding. I just think, well, it's okay to buy and hold if you have a time frame and you have, the right levels to buy and hold. And to buy and hold because, someone in the news is buying and holding this stock. Or like, another thing people do is they buy companies at IPO. I've never understood that. Like, if they're selling the shares at IPO, why are you buying them? If the big banks and the big institutions are selling the shares to you and
Yeah,
are
you're
willing
you're
to
buying
sell
it
it,
from them.
you're
Yeah,
buying from them. They don't want it, so why do you want it?
it's true.
Because they got it $10 cheaper before it was even IPO'd. And
Exactly.
as soon as it IPOs, they're selling it to us.
Yeah,
Exactly. Shares start. I mean, they start trading. They set the price as $60 and it rises to 120 on the open. I mean, why do they want it?
Yeah.
They know where it's going, so they just sell it off. And you're there buying it up because you buy and hold for the future, and you see a 100% reduction in price straight away.
Haven't
yeah,
these people seen The Wolf of Wall Street? What's wrong with them?
I know there's so many movies out there they could
true.
watch for the entertainment. It wasn't just about the cocaine, yeah.
Yeah.
All the women.
All the women, all the cars, all the boats. Every movie has a lesson.
Yeah, sure. Well, we've got 10 minutes, guys, so if you want to get your questions in, now would be the time.
Yep. Fire away.
Oh, I have to. We should do like a "Are you kidding me?" segment, and we can just all lay off a rant because I got a good one for this.
Alright,
Okay?
let's start the first
Oh
one.
man, yeah, go on, go on.
The first Are You
Here's
Kidding
the
Me?
"Are you kidding me?" Here's my "Are you kidding me?" So
Alright.
there's a lot of trading educators on Instagram,
Mm.
and a lot of them like to show these testimonials. So there was this testimonial shown, right? And it was like a conversation between the educator and the person that was giving the testimonial. And it was like, oh, this person made like $2,000, using my strategy, great job. And then like I clicked on the student, so called in quotation student, that made this money. And there was no profile picture. He had like 7 followers, and he was following like 150 people or something like that.
Mm.
And he had no posts, so no picture, no posts, 7 followers, and following like 150 people. So I click on the people that he's following, and it's 150 of the most random celebrities that you could even make, from like Kanye West to Lady Gaga to Mila Kunis to Chris Rock. It was like, this is the fakest account on Instagram right now, and it was ridiculous. So I mean, it's just, here's my hypothesis. I could be wrong, but what happened was this so-called educator made this account, had this fake conversation with himself, and he made this account. He followed every freaking celebrity he could, and then he got like a few followers, and a couple of the followers were like those get more follower people.
Yeah.
Like it was just a fake account, and then it just breaks my heart to see other people commenting on this picture like, oh, where can I sign up and stuff, because I was like that too. Like, I remember like looking up to some of these people, and now I just realize they're Bernie Madoffs of the education industry. It's just so sad to see, man. So just do your due diligence. Like, just don't believe all of that stuff.
Exactly.
Like, just be smart. I mean, it's tough to say that because I believed it at one point too. So I really don't know what to say. But just be a little smart when you're reading that stuff. Like, a lot of that stuff is fraud.
Even
Just
with
click on
us,
the link
like,
and see if it's the real profile as well.
even with us, like, don't just take everything we say like as like holy word. Like, do your research, look into things, ask us questions, like, be skeptical, because it's dangerous out there. There's a lot of scammers, and you don't really want to fall for anything like this. So be skeptical. Don't think that we're going to take any offense if you're going to come to us and question us. No, that's not what this is about. Like, just do your due diligence. It's the best for you. Like, and we enjoy it as well. Like, we enjoy doing this. We're not getting paid to speak to you right now, but we're doing it. Like, we love it. So if you want to ask us any questions or want to do any more research, do it. Like, I encourage it.
Yeah. Someone asked, like, what is your purpose for doing this? And You know, like I said, I just think at some point you just want to create something. Like making money's cool and stuff, and it's not like I'm over here like a millionaire. You know, I found a way to be consistent in the markets, and it can only go up from here, in my opinion. And you know, I want to create something. I want to make a difference in the world. I want to change the world of finance, and understand that it's not just buy and hold stuff out there, and it's just such a tough message to deliver. But you know, you got to start somewhere, and this is how us four are starting. So, you know, just like it.
Also, like, I just want to like crush like some scammers from
Yeah.
I just want to take them off the game because like it's getting too much now and it's getting ridiculous now. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
sad.
Yeah,
It's
man.
sad.
Like, and then the reason why I actually want to do that because like they actually put a bad name for us who actually trying to do good.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This is making it worse. People will be so skeptical about us because of these guys keep scamming people. Because, man, I'm gonna crush them, man. That's my main goal, man.
I personally feel like when I talk about these scammers and things, I'm in two hearts, two minds, because one side of me wants to expose them and like let you guys know that they're out there, but the other side of me realizes when I do this, it makes the whole industry look bad. It makes us look bad, and so it's not like we're just
Actually, man.
yeah.
Like,
Exactly. It's difficult, but you know, I guess we gotta do the right thing. We've got 5 minutes to go, so 4 minutes now. So if you've got any questions, quick.
And I'll listen to this, just let them know, that we're the best binary in the whole country.
We really are.
Yeah.
That's in
In the whole country. Not gonna lie about that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I've said this before. That's one thing I love about Traderstation. Like, you know, we all kind of have different strengths. Like, you know, Doug and Jeff kill the binary game. That's just how it is. Mike kills the economic game. Like, you know, you guys know if you see Mike typing away in the chat, you better be prepared to have some knowledge bombs dropped on you guys. You know, we all trade Forex. I trade a little bit of futures. I'm learning options right now. Like, we're just so diverse. There's so much depth in this group that, you know, I just don't see that in other groups. And if you can find me another group that has our depth, you know, by all means, let me know. I'd love to talk to them. But I highly doubt there's one out there. I haven't come across anyone yet.
Yeah.
I've never seen one like us. Nah, not this.
There isn't one like us.
Not at all.
Yeah. All right. Well, since there's no questions, I think we're gonna call it a night. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening, y'all.
Yeah.
Yep, guys.
You'll see us in the chat. Follow our Instagram at Traderstation. We've got a Facebook page now, The Traderstation, and we also have a Twitter, which is @_Traderstation. Yeah, and if you want to sign up for our signals, check out our website www.thetraderstation.com and check out the What We Offer section, and we give out free weekly analysis. Podcasts are all up there. There's lots on there, lots of education, lots of great blogs. It's all up there for free.
So much stuff on that site.
So yeah, see you guys next time.
Later, Traderstation.